with the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And we live the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad in my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
And Yamal is in behind! Yamal! Well, sometimes he just defies description. Into Kane, he always scores. It's a certainty. Harry Kane's first 50-goal club season. Driven in, Mbappe! The leading scorer in the Champions League this season. And this time it's in by Lautaro Martinez. You can't keep giving this man chances. Dembele! And here we go again. Ousmane Dembele, so difficult to contain.
Next season here on Paramount Plus, you can watch the UEFA Champions League. It all begins on August 27th with the league phase draw. The league phase then begins on September 8th. The tournament goes to the knockouts on February 17th, 2027. And the final is in Madrid at the Estadio Metropolitano on June 5th. And you can watch many of these players in the World Cup final today in the Champions League next season on Paramount Plus. After this short break, everybody, we're going to be continuing our conversation on Spain versus Argentina, and more importantly, Messi.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days with the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
Champions Argentina in the World Cup final in New Jersey. 1-0 it finished. Ferran Torres with the only goal of the match. It came
extra time as well. His first goal, by the way, of the tournament, and what a time to get it. Spain are dominating the football world. They won the Euros, and now they have won the World Cup, only the third team to do so. They came in on the most incredible streak, 38 matches unbeaten now. That is the longest of all time, and they have won back-to-back major tournaments. Good to have you with us, everybody. Welcome along to Pig Beach here in Astoria, Queens. I'm Poppy Miller, alongside Nigel Reo-Coker, Troy Deeney, and Mike Grella. Grella, you had the sense, is Argentina going to pull a bit of magic out with Messi at the end, but is Spain the deserving world champions for you?
Definitely, no question about it. Look at the game, 20 some odd shots for Spain, however many on target, none for Argentina on target. Lopsided game in the end, and I understand what people say. Grinta, fight, discipline, fighting, you know. But in the end, again, it's about the football. It's about football one.
Football one today.
And it's about the spaces, and it's about the technical aspects, and it's about the speed of the ball, and it's about these things. And for the Hollywood fans out there that came into the World Cup that maybe are not soccer fans, and they came in and they watched the game yesterday and they go, wow, I can really get into this. See you later. Get out. Because the real football won today. The team that plays the real football won today. Not the fighting, not the stuff after the ball, not the Leo Messi story. No. The real football won today. And to me, I think there's something really beautiful about that. Spain were quiet, they won the game in the right way, and they dominated Argentina.
And how incredible, Nige, to not only win the World Cup, but to win the World Cup without conceding a single goal all tournament is pretty incredible.
One goal. Amazing.
One goal.
Amazing.
One goal.
We've got to give credit to Spain. And I've got to give credit to my colleague, as much as he's a bit of a numpty at times, but he was 100% right. He talked about Spain, he talked about everything that they have, the attributes that they have, Poppy. Winning the ball back, the high press, how they play, technical ability, comfortable in tight areas. They rose to the occasion. They're a team that got better in this tournament. We talk about the first game, where we had question marks after seeing their first game against Cabo Verde, thinking, oh, are they Spain the favourites or not? Can we question if they're going to go all the way to the final and make it? None of us really had them in that kind of league, apart from Grella. Most of us thought that, you know what, France...
Did you have them win in the tournament in your bracket?
Between Spain and France, it was difficult, but obviously...
But did you pick them in your bracket?
I think I had
France.
France, Argentina.
Yeah, but most people had France in there. But credit to Grella to say about the footballing dynamic of what Spain are. And he was 100% right. The team dynamic won today. They were by far the better side. But I would say, I would be lying if I didn't say that the sending off of Enzo Fernandez did not play a part. Because one thing is, we know as players, when you go a man down, it does play a part. But when you go a man down against a team that's so well coached, like Spain, so comfortable on the ball, so football intelligent in how they keep possession, knowing when to go forward, when to slow the pace down, when they can keep possession, switch it from side to side by missing a player, they are the ultimate team, and they were absolutely phenomenal today, and they deserved it.
I mean, Troy, even at the end there, to keep Argentina without a shot till we went to extra time, it was a remarkable defensive performance, but both sides of the ball, they've just been so impressive.
Yeah, again, we talked to the defensive side of it, but 67% possession again. They dominate the ball, they keep the ball, they understand moments of the game, when to go forward, when to go back. Really interesting part towards the end. Nico Williams goes through, tries a little quick beat. I don't know why, but the whole crowd, the whole bench were like, whoa, 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 that's not what we do. Because it wasn't about him trying to skill, it was about him giving the ball up cheaply. They don't do that. They were fantastic. Argentina, we give them credit for staying in the game. Again, you mentioned Enzo Fernandez. I thought that was childish. I thought it was a little bit reckless.
It was reckless, but I said to Grella and I had a difference of opinion. I don't know what your opinion is on that, Troy, but I said if Enzo Fernandez had stayed on that pitch there, I think Argentina would have showed enough character to take this to penalties, and then we could just toss a coin on that.
Yeah,
that's just my
possibly,
opinion.
but the point is, he got himself sent off. It was his recklessness, because you're on a yellow card as well.
We all agreed it was a double yellow, right?
Oh, yeah, nailed on, but it's also, it's in an area of the pitch, he can let that tackle go. it's on the halfway line. Like, they're not going to score from that singular action. So he would want that back because it's just youthful energy trying to get there, trying to create something and make something happen. But I thought Spain were fantastic throughout. And do you know what? We talk about the players. We have to talk about the manager. The manager did some really brave decisions as well today. Put Fernan Torres in before we put Marino in. Marino's been the guy scoring, but he tested Fernan Torres and went, go on, you go in and you win it. So I thought it was fantastic.
From European champions to World Cup champions, that is absolutely phenomenal by
Who's
Spain.
going to stop them? Who do you see stopping the Spain side in the next few years?
You know what? I think it's not going to be hard to stop. It's going to be very hard to stop this Spain side because my problem is this as well. If they could get that striker that's on form, that is the only missing piece with Spain. That's the only criticism I can give to Spain to say, listen, they need it.
Oh, they do?
They do need it because they create so many chances. If you've got that striker, like probably Troy was, the true number 9, hold up play, bring the team higher up the pitch, but willing to make those runs in the box and to have that muscle memory to want to score goals, to be a fox in the box. If they get that piece there, it's going to be very hard to stop Spain moving forward, in my opinion. That's just my opinion on that.
They play with no number 9 and no Yamal. Yamal didn't do anything the entire tournament. He was very underwhelming by his standards. And you know, when I think about this matchup, I think about Argentina. I think about the stories that came into here. I saw Argentina take over Times Square. I saw Maradona, Messi, all the amazing stories. You know, and I think back to my own family. I think back to my kids. My son wants to be an astronaut. He said, Dad, I want to be an astronaut. I said, buddy, you're going to pay taxes and work like a dog like the rest of us. And that's what happened today. The Argentina story was amazing. We wanted to buy it. But in the end, look at the stats. 67% possession, 20 shots, 12 on target. Argentina has 0 on target. There's levels to this game.
Okay. But we've seen this
There's levels.
We've seen it before.
Hold on. In a world where marketing is taking control, the best player is never the best player. FIFA wants to tell you this guy is the best. In a world where marketing and social media takes control, Spain said, no. We're going to show you what football is. And the real football won today. That's why I feel good.
But hang on. Was it that comfortable for Spain? I know that the stats tell you, yes, it was comfortable.
Credit to Argentina.
The last minute, did you feel like done?
Yes. Credit to Argentina that they just won't die because it should have been much more comfortable. So credit there to Argentina because with very little, they hung on forever. But in the end, it's overwhelming, Spain, what they did. And just look at the statistics. I think this is a game where you can look at the statistics and it tells you actually what the game was like.
What were you going to say, Nige?
I was going to say that, listen, Greg and I have a disagreement in the fact of I think that if Enzo Fernandez had stayed on, I think Argentina have shown us enough in this tournament of the grit and the mindset to say, no, we're going to take this to penalties. And for me personally, Martinez is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, especially when it comes to those type of situations and scenarios. So I understand what Grell is coming to about Spain, but I think for me, that sending off did change the dynamic and the momentum of this game.
So much to unpack from this game. We're going to be with you for so much longer here at Pig's Beach. Let's hear what Hannah's got to say, though, because she's also here in Queens, New York with us.
Girls, you just won the World Cup. How are you feeling? How did you find the match?
Awesome, like beyond this world right now.
Yeah. Insane! Vamos España! Oh my God. I think the better football team won today. Yeah. We love Messi. We're Barcelona fans, but what they played today was an embarrassment to the sport, and the best team won. How are you going to celebrate, girls?
By drinking. By drinking.
It's National Ice Cream Day, so everyone should get ice cream.
National Ice Cream Day, yes. National Anthem, get your free ice cream.
Do you not feel sorry for Messi?
No.
We feel sorry.
No.
So sad. But it's okay, because Lamine Yamal, the 19 theory. By the way, the 19 theory, do you know about the 19 theory? It's true. It's fucking true.
Okay. Were you alive when they won in 2010?
Yes, I was alive.
Do you remember?
Not that much.
So this is your first proper World Cup seeing Spain win?
Cup, yes.
Congratulations, girls, you're World Cup winners.
Thank you so much. We're so happy. We love you, Spain. We love you, Lamine.
Lovely, thanks.
Viva España this is the teams that have won the Euros and then went on to win the World Cup. West Germany, Spain, and Spain. Again, this is so difficult to do, Nige. Only 8 nations have ever won the World Cup. It's Spain's first since 2010. This is incredible, isn't it? Incredible night for Spanish football.
Phenomenal, phenomenal. Listen, there's no words that us as ex-players and analysts now in our next part of our chapter of life can ever put what it's like to go through tournament football. It's so difficult. And even when you look at the end scenes there, Poppy, of the pictures of what we talked about so much about Messi being 39 years old and what he's doing and how he's influencing the game, and just amazing to witness that. To get to the final is one thing, but to lose that final, it's another thing that it's just you can never put into words of how hard that journey is. And for these guys there that are natural born winners, especially the Argentina team and how they've applied themselves, it's a punch to the gut. It's something that you never forget for the rest of your life. And they know how hard that journey is to qualify for a World Cup and then to get all the way through to a final of a World Cup. It's just something that it's an amazing journey as a football player. And it's something that no money in the world can ever pay for. And only those guys can maybe find the right words.
What are you talking about? You've just gone on this journey. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the journey of what we've just witnessed there in the World Cup final. That's
what I'm talking about Spain. You're talking about Messi and the journey. And I'm
talking about Messi and the journey, but also for Spain. Spain is fantastic for them, but also for Argentina. It's heartache. It's just a whole day as a whole.
It's so true. Okay, let's go to Hannah very quickly. Here she is. Let's have a look at what she's doing. Throw the hats, boys. Throw the hats.
Oh,
hats.
I've already given mine away.
You've already given yours away. The fans
Hey, Grella's not going to take someone's eye out.
I threw the hat to my boy right
Grella's not going to take someone's eye out there. Hey.
Oh, okay, stay with us, everybody. We're going to be back in just a second here from...
There's heartache out there now. Nig's going to tell you about it.
I'm just talking about the environment.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Rank? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, but the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And we live the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money. What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back, everybody. We are at Pig Beach, but this is a look at the American Dream Mall in New Jersey when Spain scored the one and only goal of this game. This is pretty incredible. Here is Hannah Cash with us at Pig Beach.
Okay, boys, congratulations. You just won the World Cup. How are you feeling?
We feel amazing. We feel amazing. One thing I'm going to say, football won today. Football won today.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm going to leave the word to him.
No, vamos España, que viva España!
España is great. I just want to say one thing. Conversation is over 3 back-to-back World Cups. There's no conversation. Messi is the best. Kudos to Spain. They're arguably the greatest ever international team because of they've been playing together. Messi, though.
Do you not feel sorry for Messi? You don't care?
No, I love him.
He has one.
He has one.
Yeah, he has one. That's enough. That's enough. Yeah.
And
Now it's Lamine Yamal's time.
And is this your dog's first World Cup win with Spain?
It's her first time.
I saw when you were celebrating, you lifted your dog above your head.
She's our trophy. She's our trophy.
Good. Did the best team win today?
Of course, of course. 0 shots in 90 minutes, come on.
Okay. Fine, last question. How are you going to celebrate?
Well, we're just going to drink a bunch of beers.
Yep.
Maybe.
Pardon?
No, Mao, Madrid beer.
Oh, lovely. All right then, boys. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Oh, he's so cute. I saw you.
Get the sangria on top. I don't think any Spanish fan is going to feel bad for Leo Messi. This is a look at their SofaScore ratings, though, against Argentina. Rodri with the highest rating. You boys all agree?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I think he dictated the game. Everything went through him again. Defensively as well was fantastic, winning any headers or breaking up. And that's some really intelligent fouls as well, Nigel, when they were trying to get on the counter-attack. For me, he's remarkable to play 99 minutes after having such an injury-laden season the way that he's had, to be in this situation again. Look, 95% passing. Those stats are great, and you can look at them, they're fantastic. It's moments in the game, in the first half when he's setting the tempo, Nigel, breaking through the lines and running beyond 2 and 3 players. We haven't been able to see him do that this year due to the injury. He looks and feels so much fitter and sharper. I bet he doesn't want the break. 100%. He's now starting to feel really up to speed, but hopefully now for us, obviously covering the Carabao Cup, Champions League, we get to see him at his best for Man City.
What Troy talks about is the art of playing centre midfield, and there's certain things that people might not understand, and the metrics you never take into consideration when you're playing in centre midfield. When you set the tempo of playing in centre midfield, we already know how much of a good passer he is, how composed he is on the ball, getting the ball from the back line. But when you drive forward and break lines, that changes the whole dynamic of the game. That changes the whole defensive structure of your opponents, and you can pop it off. It's experience. What Rodri has is the experience of playing for so many years. That is priceless. And when you play with an experienced player, especially being a young player, and you've got someone that's so experienced, it makes it so much more easier for you in the game. Because I guarantee you, as good as he is with the influence of how he plays the game, is the same way that he talks to the younger players and guides them through. You talk about a team with Lamine Yamal and a team with Kubasi that's only 19 years old.
The tournament for you?
100%.
Yeah.
There's no denying that. I think for me, he has been the best player of this World Cup, and the influence he's had on Spain is priceless.
Would you agree with that, Grell?
I like Rodri this tournament all year. I said, actually funny, Yamal was the opposite. Yamal all year, I said, wow, best player I've ever seen. Tournament, not very good. Rodri all year, I said, man, doesn't look like himself. Boom, tournament, grew into the tournament and became one of the most important players, influential players. Probably their most important player. You could add the Cucurella into that and maybe that manager as well, because I think that's important. But it was the unit that won the game. For me, there were levels apart. Spain were so good, they deserved to win the tournament. At the end of the day, I think it was between Spain and France to win it, because France were a very dynamic team. Spain were more of a team with possession and under control the spaces. So in the end, the right team won. I think football won. So I just feel like the result. A lot of neutrals I know, a lot of people coming into football now will say, oh, it was a boring game. And maybe for large parts it was boring. But in the end, I think the football won, and I'm always happy when the football wins.
Isn't it amazing as well? Because I agree with you. Neutrals will look at that game and go, oh, that was a boring game, and look at yesterday's game, which was a bit of a circus, and go, oh, that was amazing, because of the amount of goals. Yeah, this was a really tactical game, really broke down, and two different styles of football trying to break each other down. And for me, it was thoroughly entertaining. The pressure, the emotion as well, Nigel. Such a big game, the biggest game in football.
So would you say that this game was more entertaining for you than the first?
Yeah, yesterday to me, yes, there were goals. I get that. The first part was like a Sidemen charity match. Genuinely, it was walking around.
Match. Let's be real. It was a charity match. And if those players played like they did in yesterday's game for their domestic clubs, they will not be seeing the pitch for 2 or 3 weeks. That's the reality of it. But this was a final. We talked about it being edgy and being tight. And again, we have difference of opinion, which is fine, because every opinion that we have so far is valid to the point of view. And I agree with Grella that Spain were the better team. But no matter what people want to say or not, Argentina hung in there, and the belief would have been in there. They went a man down, and they still kind of tried to stick around as much as they could. And also, even with Spain taking the lead, Argentina had 2 glorious chances to level the game, and they didn't. They didn't have the quality at that moment there, where if it fell to Messi, we'll probably say maybe we could have gone to penalties.
I would say clarity in that moment.
Yeah.
Do you know, like if that ball drops now, game dead, and you're practicing, you're going to do it. But having the clarity in that moment to be calm, because what happens there as a forward player, when it's like this is probably the last chance. You speed up. Your heart speeds up, your mind speeds up, and then you just do something wild. Whereas if they had that again, and this is what separates Messi and those top finishers, their clarity in those moments have got to do the right thing, bro.
Listen, I love this game more than anything. This was a celebration all month, or the last 5-6 weeks, whatever it was. And in football, it requires so much. It requires so much sacrifice, as everybody here knows. And it requires so many different things, and it requires emotion. And the storyline of Argentina was so great. But the most important thing, and if you're a young kid or if you're playing football, the most important thing is the football. It's the football. I mean, yeah, I get it. The story of, oh, I'm a fighter and I hit you off the ball and I play these little, and I get it and I understand all that. But it's the football. Speed is in the football. Speed is in the technique. Speed is in that. And so for me, that's the most important thing, is that the football told the story this tournament. That it broke down the teams that don't play the best football. It found all their weaknesses. The USA found their weakness in the end. All the African teams, which I loved, I was a big fan of. I wanted to see an African team win. Found all their weaknesses in the end. France,
England
found their weakness in England was easy.
He's Italian. You can't ask an Italian to say feel sorry for England.
I was waiting.
You can't ask him to feel sorry for England. But come on.
In the end, for me, the football is the most important thing. And I think in our game, in our sport, in the way we love it, in the way we played it, all of us have played it, is the football comes first. And when I see that, I'm happy if the winner holds that accountable.
It does feel in some ways like no matter who Spain would have played today, they would have won, right? We were saying even if England had made it to the final, these 2 teams would have beat them. Spain were the best team. They won on the day. Where does this leave Leo Messi, Troy, do you think now, looking ahead? Does he have a bit of a chip on his shoulder? And
my ears fell out, so I can't hear anything. So what's it?
Now?
There you go.
Oh.
Sorry, carry on.
Where does this leave Messi, mate?
So I'll do that in a minute. For me, this is Messi still the greatest. I don't think this was a moment that you really defined. This was like icing on top of the cake. Do you know what I mean? He's still been great. He's shown you in these moments how good he is. He's shown you in the last game how great he still can be. But at 39 years of age, I think it's unfair to keep saying game after game, do it. Game after game, do it. And I think ultimately, to Grella's point, the team won, didn't it?
The team won.
The team won.
Is this the last game for him for Argentina?
No, I don't think it'll be the last game for Argentina, but I think it'll be the last World Cup.
Okay.
I think he'll look at Ronaldo and how he's been perceived in this. I think I still performed well. We got to a final. All right, I can live with that.
I think Argentina as a nation will want to give him a great send-off. That's the thing. I think with games coming up, I think they want to give him a real great send-off.
But how do they do that? Just the next games that are coming?
Picking him for a few next internationals, playing in Argentina or wherever he is going to be. But it's to give him a legendary send-off because he deserves
no
that.
Copa America or any major tournament.
I don't see him playing any major tournament after that. I think that for me now, he's really bowed at the top. And he was the key figure. He wasn't a passenger for this Argentina.
You don't see him do the Copa America?
I don't see him. I think for me, listen, I'll say this. He wasn't the passenger during this World Cup. He was the bus driver of this World Cup for Argentina to get them to the final.
You agree, Grell?
He showed me this World Cup more than ever because I told you I'm a big Maradona fan. I always had him #1. He showed me that he's the best ever, greatest of all time. Better than Maradona, better than Pelé, better than R9, better than Cristiano Ronaldo. So for me, he did enough, and he should be proud of what he did, and amazing player.
And what's crazy, though, unfortunately, as you always say, the stats don't tell the full story of football because he'll finish not as the Golden Boot winner and not with any trophy in this World Cup. It's Spain that have won the World Cup final. We've got loads more to come in just a second here from Pig Beach, and we'll recap what an incredible year it's been for Argentina and for their superstar as well, Leo Messi, next.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad in my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
So Argentina started the day as world champions. They ended the day losing their title to Spain, though. Leo Messi in the World Cup has been second to none. The second most goals and most assists. He's had 12, the most knockout round goal contributions as well with 17. He's the first player as well to start in 3 World Cup finals. Here's a look, boys, at the SofaScore ratings from the match. Emi Martinez, highest rated, close to perfect. You agree with that?
Yeah, he pulled out a lot of saves to keep Argentina in this game, but that's what a world-class goalkeeper does. Emi Martinez, for me, is a world-class goalkeeper. Anyone who wants to argue different to that, you don't know football, as Grella would say. Because when it comes to games like this, when you play in top opposition, we talk about the defenders and everything like that. Yes, at times your defenders are going to be vulnerable, they're going to get through. But what happens is a world-class goalkeeper like Emi Martinez and the saves that he makes, for me, he's a goalkeeper, as Troy would like to say, that makes you feel calm, confident, and believe in him, because he is that much of a top-class goalkeeper.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, to add to Nigel's point there, when you talk to this level of goalkeeper, again, I've got a lot of stick for my comments on Jordan Pickford, and it's not to say Jordan Pickford isn't good. There's just a level above that you have to get to, and this guy is right up there for me. In the biggest moments, in the biggest games, he steps up, and very, very quickly on SofaScore, I think it's so harsh to say that all those players for Argentina were sixes.
Yeah.
They played way and above what they had. It's just they didn't have the ball. They just weren't at the level of Spain. But to put them at six is frightening for me.
So you would have ranked them all higher?
Absolutely, because they didn't play bad.
I would have backed Troy on that and agree to that. Because sometimes people look, I understand what Grella says, and Grella's right. The football dynamic, you talk about football, but football, there's so many different little things that play a part in being a part of a winning team and winning mentality.
Yeah.
Argentina showed the heart, the drive, the desire, the competitive nature. They lack the striker, really and truly. We talk about the pace. They lack the pace on the wings to get forward. If they had that, if they had a Di Maria type of player, could carry them up the pitch as well, could have been a different scenario. But to stay with Spain like they did until they got the sending off, you got to give him credit for that. What are you laughing at?
Not laughing at you. Messi, not laughing at what I'm about to say either. Messi's crying right on the pitch now. I think it tells you what he wanted in the tournament. I think it tells you who he is. I think it tells you that he doesn't care about personal accolades and he doesn't look back at the screen and say, oh, I've done enough. I think it tells you that he really wanted to win for the country, for his boys, in a changing room. And it's a shame. And again, for Argentina, what they put into the tournament and what they put into every single day was admirable, really admirable. And they had enough to almost go there. But in the end, you have to have the tools to unlock the right level, and they didn't have that.
And
So
also, is he crying because of the moment, or is he crying reflecting on his Argentina
Could be pop.
career?
Yeah, could be the end.
Yeah. Could be both as well. But also, just to add to Grella's point, there's every now and again you just get that moment where you actually capture yourself in the moment. Very few times as a player you get to go, wow, I've done this. Even though he'll probably be sad they've obviously not won and got the ultimate goal, it's still an unbelievable achievement. And again, unfortunately, the comparisons of these two have been happening over the last 20 years. But when you saw what Ronaldo delivered in this display for Portugal and what he's delivered, he may be sitting there going, maybe I'm just not what I once was, unfortunately.
And just to add to
the layer, by the way, Nige, sorry, is the fact that he came to America, right? Everybody's like, oh, well, is he going there to retire and to ride off into the sunset in Miami, where he has a bit of ownership in the club as well? To be putting in the shift that he puts in for Inter Miami, and then to have a World Cup in the place where he now calls home, it's all these different layers that make it more emotional for him, right?
I think there's different layers to it, because if you look at the previous World Cup, I think that's World Cup where finally Messi's won the World Cup. But he was helped by his teammates who backed him and went to that one direction to help him win the World Cup, because they were just so in love or respected him as a brotherhood to want to give him the World Cup, to really crown him on top. And then this World Cup coming into it, I think a lot of people thought, okay, we know Argentina can be a problem, but it all depends how good they are with Messi. And I think for me, what surprised a lot of people is his age and what he's done. And the reality of it, whether we like it or not, is because of Messi that they got all the way to the final. So there's no denying that in the talent that he has. And I think that's what surprised a lot of people to how far Argentina got. And let's not forget, just put on to what these guys said. This was a Messi also that kind of technically retired from international football after 3 final losses, and to not thinking that he might be the problem for the Argentine national team, and then to come back now and win a World Cup and get to another World Cup final.
Yeah.
That's credit.
Let's bring in Nico Cantor, because he's with us, and obviously he's a massive Argentina fan. Nico, I know that it's heartbreak for you, but you're outside MetLife Stadium, right? What's the emotion over there right now?
Hey guys, yes, it's a little bit somber because the Argentinian fans are the first ones to come out, but Spain are the deserved winner. Football won today. They had an amazing display from the beginning to the very end of the match. In fact, they suffered towards the very end because of their lack of clinical finishing throughout the entire game. So you do have to give credit to Spain, the best team throughout the entire tournament. Rodri with an exquisite performance. I love how good of a footballer he is, a former Ballon d'Or winner, and possibly we'll see what happens next from his career because it can only keep on going higher, so much quality. But of course, Argentines around here, guys, are gloomy because Messi is leaving the national team. Their national team is second place here in the World Cup final, but at the same time, they are feeling a lot of gratitude for everything that this group has given them. 2 Copa Americas titles, 1 World Cup win, and another World Cup final. There's not much more you can ask for.
Nico, now I know you're a proud Argentine. Obviously, we talk about Spain being the better team and won today. Credit to Argentina and the fight, and you got to dig deep to beat them, which is your words and not mine, and 100% back you on that. What's the future hold, not just for Messi, but also for the manager, Scaloni? What happens now with this Argentine national side?
I don't know. That's a really good question, Nigel, because any era post-Messi at any place where he has been able to grace us with his talent, it's always very difficult. It's like there's a power void, right? This massive gap in your infrastructure, and you don't know how to rebuild. Look at Barcelona, how long it took them. Not until they got the likes of Lamine Yamal and pretty much a top quality team from goalkeeper all the way forward to even be competing for a Champions League title, and they're not even there yet. I wonder what it's going to be like when Inter Miami leaves them for Argentina. It is everything. When Maradona left the national team in '94, Argentina didn't win titles for decades, right? Despite the plethora of talent that Argentina has. So for Scaloni, has the project run its course? Is he himself going to want to go again? He's given everything to this national team. He's touched the sky, and no Argentine can ask any more from Messi, from Scaloni. I wonder if it's him that wants to keep on going. These are maybe not questions for now. They're going to be questions for later. But it is going to take a lot of thinking, because on Argentina without Messi, we haven't seen it for a very long time.
Nico, just a real quick one from me. Obviously, very somber mood for you at this moment in time. But when you look at the way and the style in which Argentina played, obviously it's very rough, organised. You know, it's got to take a lot to beat us. Without Messi, just kind of pushing it forward a little bit, there seemed a real lack of pace in the wide areas. With the way that football's going now, is that a little bit of a concern for you moving forward, or is it more in the wings?
Yeah, listen, Troy, there are so many areas of concern with Argentina, even if had they won the World Cup, right? They weren't playing well through the knockout stage. When they arrived in the semi-final, it was almost like a silver lining that England scored first, because that allowed Argentina to put their best football on display. But this team is yelling for a Di Maria type player that can stretch the pitch. Argentina is going to have to find, of course, better fullbacks, especially on the right-hand side between Montiel and wow, I'm blanking on the kid from Atletico Madrid. But regardless, Argentina needs to upgrade in several positions, I think, going forward. And it's going to have to be key for them to kind of reinvent themselves. Yes, the chippiness, Troy, the chippiness is very important. It's very critical to the Argentine DNA. But the football is as well. And think about the generational turnover from Qatar to now. There hasn't really been much. So the fullbacks in Nahuel Molina, in Montiel, need an upgrade, perhaps some wingers as well, to give Argentina a little bit of that verticality and pace that at times was missing, Troy, and I thought it was pretty evident throughout the group stage for this Argentina team. For the knockout stage, excuse me.
Nico, I guess it's time for Argentina to move on to Nico Paz and Almada, the next generation, right?
Yeah.
Love you, guy.
Yeah, probably. Could be. And Juliano Simeone as well.
Yeah, if you look at what's behind you, Spain have just lifted the trophy. Good stuff, Nico. We're going to see you soon.
Nico, they don't feel bad for you. None of them.
None of them back here feel bad for you, Nico.
No, and I don't feel bad for myself. The better team won. This is a beautiful moment for football, guys. Spain is a deserving champion of the World Cup. They played the best football, and you have to acknowledge that. Yeah, yellow card.
Red card, I think. VAR. Good stuff, Nico. Thanks so much. Okay, let's see what Hannah's up to here at Big Beach.
Okay, everybody, we're back in the courtyard. We found the man who has the Golazo Network tattoo on your face. You're a Spain fan. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm from Spain. I grew up in Barcelona, so this means the world. My voice is almost gone. This is amazing to get the second one, and we're going to go get the third one on home soil in 4 years. So looking forward to that. So proud of these guys, man.
When that Varane goal went in, what did you do? What was your reaction? Were you on the tables? Was the beer flying?
I couldn't believe it. I already lost my voice on the goal that they called back, so like I didn't have anything left, but oh my God, just so many emotions. I loved every second of this game. 0 shots on target for 90 minutes against Argentina is mental. So, I mean, Cubarsi, this guy.
Was he your man of the match?
Oh my God, man of the tournament for me.
Wow.
Amazing. The defense, 1 goal allowed in 8 games, 9 games maybe. I don't know, I lost count. But what an amazing World Cup. Can't wait for the next one.
You said you're a Barcelona fan.
Barcelona, born and bred.
Do you feel sorry for Messi?
I love Messi with all my heart. He gave us endless just victories and amazing moments. I wish him the best, but he got one 4 years ago. It was time to get ours.
There we go. Final question, how are you celebrating tonight?
I'm heading to Manhattan. I'm going to meet up with some friends who are actually at the stadium. They were lucky enough to get tickets, so going to go see what's up, find some Spaniards, and just party.
Calling in sick to work tomorrow?
Yeah, no work. Nope.
No work for this guy, no work.
Viva España!
Lovely, thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, it should be a national holiday, shouldn't it, for Spanish fans? Here is Marco Messina in New York City in Little Spain. He's giving them the second star. They're having a blast. This guy's going to find them in Manhattan. The celebrations are just getting started. Marco, if he can't be Italian, he's going to be Spanish. We're going to be back in just a second. Stay with us.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in 2 worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad in my camp.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
what's the point of here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
And Yamal is in behind. Yamal! Well, sometimes he just defies description. Into Kane. He always scores. It's a certainty. Harry Kane's first 50-goal club season. Driven in Mbappe! The leading scorer in the Champions League this season.
And this time it's in by Lautaro Martinez. You can't keep giving this man chances.
Dembele! And here we go again. Ousmane Dembele, so difficult to contain.
Well, guess what, everybody? The World Cup might be complete, but the Champions League is about to begin August 27th. We'll see the league phase draw September 8th. It all gets underway through the new year, and then this year's final will take place in Madrid at the Metropolitano, the home of Atletico Madrid. It's a short turnaround. Troy, you excited?
Can't wait, yes. In 2.5 weeks, we'll be back to work, doing it all again. We get a little bit of time off, enjoy with the family, decompress. It's been a long season, hasn't it? And you know, we got the best job in the world, talk about football.
Which, by the way, feels crazy for us to say it's a short turnaround. Imagine being some of the players, Grella, that have played today, the short turnaround they're going to have before pre-season is breathing down their neck.
Yeah, there's a lot of games in football. I think you saw that with the third-place match yesterday. That guys just were out there for a good time. I will say this, if you watch the World Cup and you're thinking to yourself, where do I get more of that? Where do I see more of that? The storylines, the football, is the Champions League. It's a very easy segue into the Champions League. So it happens every single year, obviously, until we get to the next European Championships and obviously Copa Americas and all that. And then obviously World Cup comes again. But in between that sandwich is always the Champions League. And the Champions League is the best it gets. So that's what we'll be doing shortly.
And who's going to knock PSG off their perch? Nigel, back-to-back champions. We've seen the dominance of Spanish football, though this season in particular feels really exciting.
Very exciting. I think the thing about the Champions League is every year, every club wants to be competitive. Don't think that a club is just going to rest on their morals and think that, okay, because we want it this year, it's going to be the same thing next year. No, every club's going to want to strengthen and get better and better as the season goes on to compete. That is the golden goose. I don't know why Troy's smiling and laughing at that.
You made me laugh. Go on. Rest on your laurels.
You want to say something? Rest on the
laurels. Laurels, no.
Laurels, okay.
Sorry, I like it when you do it. It makes
I
me
like it when you give your own spin to the best known stains.
All right, water on the dock off a Doc's back. But anyway, I think it's the thing about the Champions League that's so beautiful. It's very competitive.
Yeah.
Every club is going to compete to want to win it because it's seen as the golden ticket in European football. And next to the World Cup, the Champions League is probably the best footballing competition in the world.
And also we get to see Grella go through what we went through because there'll be Italian teams in it. So he gets the pain this time.
They started playing again as well.
At least until December, right? Should be there.
No, don't worry, we've got Serie A, so we'll see a tight title race hopefully this season. What about the Ballon d'Or though? Because had Argentina won, I think it would have been unanimous that Messi would have won the Ballon d'Or. Now Spain won, and there wasn't, maybe Ferran Torres, if he was a different player that scored the crucial goal today, it would also be a different story. Lamine Yamal is still leading the way to win it. Thoughts on this? Is it going to go to Lamine?
This is tough, man. I mean, the other day we saw Harry Kane was the overwhelming favorite, right? And that didn't feel right. Yamal there, I said all year it should be him, but after watching this tournament, that doesn't feel right. Messi losing the final doesn't feel right. I don't know. I don't know.
For me, I think Mbappe might just get it because obviously he's the Golden Boot winner. I think he's done enough with
the Golden Boot winner from a third-place match.
It's understanding. That's fine. But still, when you look at his numbers for Real Madrid as a striker of what he does...
What did Real Madrid win this year?
They didn't win anything.
As soon as he left PSG, won twice.
But Lamine didn't win anything with Barcelona. The only person you could say who won something out of
La Liga.
He did. Fine, no problem. But still, for his numbers as a striker and coming into the World Cup as well, it's hard to argue against Mbappe for what he does, his numbers. I think, listen, a player that's not even on there, not even mentioned, really and truly, is Fabian Ruiz. Played today, played his part in Spain, winning the World Cup, but he's a Champions League winner, back-to-back Champions League winner. He's not in there. It's just how sometimes this whole Ballon d'Or thing goes, and I've already said it before, it's become too much of a popularity contest than actually who is the best player in world football. because then they credit it to what you.
Fabian Ruiz, though, you would feel good waking up tomorrow morning.
If in the
I'll say
modern
one of those,
day,
you wake up the next day, you don't feel good about it.
Hold on, wait a minute. What about the time? Okay, but what about the time when Rodri won it over Vinicius Jr., where people argue that that was the year that Vinicius Jr. should have taken it over Rodri?
Yeah, but you're talking about at that point, it's two top players who'd won things that have played the best in their position.
That's
right?
my point.
So,
but Fabian Ruiz can be considered.
But the difference is now, whoever wins it on that, we're all going to be in a situation going, really? You're in a position this time where you can make an argument against them, whereas before it was the argument for them to win it. Yeah. Now I think it's more of like a bit of an asterisk.
Okay, let's play a quick game then. Let's all have a vote. If we're the Ballon d'Or decider, Troy, who are you going for?
I'd really struggle. I'd have to say Yamal because he was part of this team.
Yamal and Mbappe.
I don't know. I won't feel good with it.
Going Yamal. Grell? You love Yamal.
I said Yamal all year until I watched him play in this tournament. I thought he was
still
terrible.
played a part. He still played a part.
Terrible in this tournament by his standards.
He's 19 years old.
I'll say Yamal.
Yamal, 19 years old, won the European Championship and won a World Cup now.
You said Mbappe 30 seconds ago.
I said I could see some people going for Mbappe. I said I could, but that wasn't my opinion.
What are you going to go for?
I would go for Yamal because you know what? Listen, Grella's criticism I felt has been a bit harsh on the young man. He played his part and matured in this tournament. He's won the European Championship, won a World Cup, played his part in the team, regardless if he was fully fit or not. Spain said, as a nation that's won the World Cup and what they've done to say, regardless if he's fully fit or not, we need Lamine.
By the way, this comment says that we don't know the criteria. We do know the criteria, that it takes into account everything, which is why it makes it difficult, right? Because obviously PSG have dominated in the Champions League and Spain were...
That's why we're on TV and that fella's writing comments. Off your pop.
I'd go for Jude Bellingham.
Off your pop.
That's what I'm saying. It plays a part at the end of the day. He doesn't know. So, fine.
Oh, well, this is the scenes in Little Spain. Marco Messina still going strong with the Spanish fans in New York City. They are world champions. We're going to be back in just a second.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. They're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
this business, we'll bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
This has been the most incredible World Cup. It has been the biggest World Cup we have ever seen. 104 matches played, over 300 goals, almost 3 goals per match, and over 65,000 in the average attendance. It's the most since 1994, which, by the way, was also in America as well. We've had a lot of fun covering it. Here's some of our best bits. So here we go, everybody. Welcome along to Golazo Matchday, 48 nations.
I'm Nico Cantor, and I'm about to spend 41 days on this RV touring the country during the World Cup.
This is unbelievable. 300,000 Koreans in Los Angeles.
This is a country that's just over 500,000.
It's the life of a defender marking Mbappe, though, right? It's like us. You pick up the kids, you make them a sandwich, you make dinner, you make money, you go to work. At night, you've done everything right, you fart in bed, and your wife wants to kill you.
The puppies are doing some predictions.
My apple juice over. Oh, I just dropped it. Okay.
Layup for the U.S.
Funny thing is, we had the same reaction when we drew them.
Adamo De Grease from SBS Sport, who is in these videos. Thanks for joining us.
And we have the same amount of international caps for our country.
USA!
Hey, Mike, just want to thank you for a wonderful football career. You had as many international caps as everyone in this room. 0.
Because they lost. Australia lost 2-0 to the States. He has to wear a U.S. jersey. Hey, we appreciate it. Hey, it looks pretty good on you, to be honest.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, USA!
Go!
Do you believe in miracles? 13 stripes, 50 stars, we don't care who the you are.
Never happened before as well in World Cup history, this late in a game where a team's been 2-0 down and to actually win the game before going to extra time.
Attack is solid. Defense is solid. Goalkeeper is solid. Midfield is solid. What you want, bro?
Following through on his bet where he has to get a tattoo of Jimmy Conrad and Tony Meola on the back of his calf is where he has chosen. Jimmy Conrad is looking, it looks just like Jimmy.
England is going for their second World Cup semi-final in the last 3 tournaments.
Really nice to have you with us. And a big sigh of relief.
Oh, no. Life.
Popcorn got stuck.
That's a Maradona warm-up right there.
Hello, everybody, and welcome along to Pig Beach. We are here today in Astoria, Queens. We are at the beer garden. The vibes are high because guess what, everybody? It is the biggest match in the world. Today is the World Cup final.
Let's see if an Argentine fan's going to give us a beer. Hold on, someone's giving me a yellow card. It's okay. I'm used to that in my career.
He's trying to throw you one already.
Got a Golazo Network tattoo on his face. It's all love for the Golazo Network down here.
We even have dogs. I mean, check this out. How cute is this?
Is Spain the deserving world champions for you?
Definitely. No question about it.
Great.
Today, Junior.
Inside of this ball. Move it around the corner.
Oh, this is awesome. USA! USA!
Oh, what a summer football, boys. How good has that been?
Been great. Enjoyed it. Pleasure working with you guys as well. And also credit to all the people that you guys don't see behind the camera who put in the hard work and make us look better than we actually truly are. So credit to all the backroom staff that we have. Too many names to mention, but they know who they are. We truly appreciate you all back there.
Yeah, it's the world's best game. I think it brought the world together more than any other sport can do in ever. So it's incredible. And hopefully, I think our goal was to grab neutrals, grab people that kind of want to know about it. And yeah, football's like the best game in the world. It has the best storylines, and I think like I said, it brought us really close together this entire tournament. And in the end, we saw some quality football, some great storylines. That's all we could ever ask for. And I think the U.S. did a really, really good job.
Troy?
The lads covered it all. I don't really know what more to say. It was great.
Troy, why do we have to add the US did a really good job? In the sense of what? The national team or just the nation?
The
highest attendance numbers in '94, highest attendance numbers again in 2026.
Like
More
America.
games. More games. Just saying. Just go add a bit of context around it. More games. More games, bigger World Cup. But it was being fantastic, though, honestly, though.
Biggest stadiums. Honestly, I will say no one does events like America. They are so fun. They love their marketing. They love to get everybody involved.
Yeah.
They love the neutral.
Are you going to chug a beer without spilling on your
years
hair?
ago as a college student. You never left. We've been trying to get rid of you forever. You're still here.
Are you going to chug a beer without pouring it on your hair?
I'm going to link up.
She wants to do this. This could get messy, ladies and gentlemen. But okay, ready?
Olé.
I can't chug mine. Go on, Nige. Go on. Our boss is not looking too
USA! USA! USA!
Attaboy.
Go on, Nigel.
Attaboy.
Now, Grella, follow it.
After you.
I'm actually British, but USA.
Troy, highlight of the summer for you has been what?
I don't know what's going on here. The game's gone. For me, I would say the highlight has been just understanding all of the stories. Your Cabo Verdes, people like that, Curacao. It makes you understand just how important it is for everybody. Obviously, Haiti are put in that category as well. A lot of teams that we didn't really know too much about, you get to learn about the culture, and that's the beauty of the World Cup, that it makes you stop being ignorant and makes you go, okay, what's his story, who's that, and what's it about? And ultimately, it's gone through, other than a little scrap we had over there earlier, which was great to watch, without anybody getting in any trouble. So it's been good fun.
I think that is a fantastically well put, Troy Deeney. I think that is really true. Culture and the aspect of it, it brings the world together. There's no game or sport in the world like football. Even it's a final against Argentina and Spain, we saw Ecuadorian fans here, we saw Polish fans here, we saw Czech Republic, we saw an England shirt, we saw fans of all over different nations just to come and watch a game of football. That just shows how unique this sport is to bring the world together.
It's a reminder that there is life outside of our little bubbles, isn't there? Yeah.
Are you going to drink a beer or what?
I am. I just want to give a bit of love, though, to Pig Beach. How fun has it been today? I think this has been the perfect ending to what's been a special summer. Obviously, Pig Beach barbecue, amazing food.
I just got to add as well,
atmosphere.
Anyone who wants to enjoy the food, our boss has had 5 plates. 5 plates of scran. So I just want to say thank you very much. I had 2 big ones because I'm a big boy. 5 plates. And I think he's gone back in for the sliders. Thank you very much.
We're not going to name any names, Mike Nastry.
And on that note, boys, one-word answer to leave it for the next World Cup. Winner for next World Cup is who?
England.
Italy.
Spain again.
England is finally coming home. Awesome. Thank you everyone so much for joining in this summer. It has been incredible. The summer of football has been and gone, and we've loved every single minute of it. Thanks to our team and for everyone here at Pig Beach that joined us. We'll see you very soon.
Start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon? When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready? Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. With the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion!
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in 2 worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion!
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
World Cup joy for Spain. A battling 1-0 win over Argentina in extra time at New Jersey Stadium sees La Roja lift the famous trophy for a second time in their history. And these were the scenes of celebration at Hudson Yards as Spanish fans realized a dream in North America. Spain, your 2026 World Cup champions. We welcome you inside the Scoreline 48 Nations studio. Adam Hunt here with Chris Whittingham and Michael Lahoud. Feels crazy to say that the World Cup is over. It's been so many days. I am a bit sad. We've enjoyed covering it so much. In the end, Lahoud, do you think that the right team lifted the trophy?
Yeah, the right team and the best team definitely won the match that we saw today and won this World Cup. And it brings us back to what football is about. It's about the team. It's about the collective. And today we saw one team show up and another team, well, we'll get to them in a bit, not show up, being very respectful and kind to Argentina, because I will definitely hammer them when we get to their segment. But this is a Spanish football nation, and I say nation, that I go back to 10 years ago, that this has been a long time coming, because this isn't the Spanish teams of old where it was tiki-taka. There's a resilience about this side, but I go back to what I said, the key word collective. Every single player has a sense of buy-in, and when you go through the key moments of the game, I mean, the possession says it all. That's an homage to what Spanish football is about keeping the ball, making your opponents chase. But this team, they had a belief, they had a patience about them, and they were rewarded for being patient. And ultimately, the deserved winners of another World Cup.
And I don't think, Whitty, they found their identity here at this World Cup, but this was a team that clearly had a way that they wanted to play, and it served them well throughout every game, didn't it?
The amazing thing is that I actually think over the course of the tournament, they proved to be better against better teams than against the worst teams. Obviously, the result that will be the anomaly over the course of this World Cup is they drew on opening day with Cabo Verde, which is extraordinary now to think about, that this team that was so dominant against the best teams, but it really is a reflection of what a true World Cup champion is. A true World Cup champion is you go against the best teams, you play your way, and you dominate. And it is staggering the degree to which they made France look invisible. They made Argentina look invisible. They made Portugal, for large portions of that game, look invisible. Belgium is the only team that scored against them in the entirety of the tournament. They played against some top top-level teams from the last 16 all the way on. Played against Uruguay on the group stage, who we rated pretty highly as well coming into the thing. But, man, this is a team that from day one, maybe not from day one, but from the beginning of the knockout stage, has taken it to the very best teams in the world and proven that identity is not just a word. It's something that you believe that goes all the way down the levels to teams that play under 12s for Spain. Know exactly what to do, and the senior team knows exactly what to do. And it is incredible that this year, the last Euros and this World Cup proves that they might be the only team with an identity. And that's frightening for them, and just in terms of being the favorites in every tournament they go into, is when you see that red shirt, when you see that badge, you know exactly what you're getting. And honestly, I don't know for who else, because they're the only team that has a top-down way of playing.
Well, it is certainly party time in the streets in Spain, probably will be for the next month or so. Our Spanish correspondent Phil Kitramilides sent us this report from the capital city, Madrid.
Absolutely incredible vibes here in the centre of Madrid. This is a nocturnal city at the best of times, but I can tell you tonight, nobody's going to sleep. Probably nobody's going to work tomorrow. Everybody's out on the streets here to celebrate and to enjoy what is an incredible moment for Spain. I'm in Puerta de Alcalá, which is one of the central roundabouts. Viva España, vamos, vamos. We're in one of the central roundabouts here, and there's a bus trying to get past. That's not being allowed to get past. We've got people celebrating pretty wildly, and it is going to continue for a long time. We've got some fireworks going off as well. This is about as big a party as Madrid has seen for a long, long time, and the jubilation on the streets is pretty wild.
Amazing scenes. Phil's going to have to stay clear of the sangria because we're going to speak to him a little bit later, so he can celebrate in about half an hour's time. Amazing scenes of celebration. We always get this after the World Cup, don't we? The home nation, the team that gets to lift the trophy back home, celebrating on the streets. But I think this is a reward for following their team, whether they be here in the US, Mexico or Canada, watching at the stadiums, or from distance abroad.
You know, what a disappointment that some of these fans, because of high ticket prices, because of the cost of travel to come to North America, couldn't be here in North America to enjoy this World Cup. But I don't think they'd have it any other way, because what I saw today wasn't just a celebration of Spanish football. I think it's a celebration of playing football the right way, full stop, and around the world. I mean, for Spain to win their second ever World Cup, the 7th team to ever win two. Sorry, Adam. They just leapfrog England with that number. But
we all know that yesterday was the real final.
That was the real final. Actually, a friend of mine messaged me, and she said that she had an opportunity to go to a match. And then one of her parents was in Spain, and she actually said, I'd rather be there than here, because that's where the real party, if Spain wins, that's where the real party is going to be.
It is one of those footballing nations, Witty, isn't it, where time stops when there's a big game on.
No question, and it's one of those nations that had incredible tradition in the game, and yet their history of winning is the most recent of any of the teams who have won the World Cup. They won it for the first time in 2010. They won the Euros in 2008, and they're a team that always kind of came up short in the biggest moments. And now that is definitely no longer the case. This is a nation that, going forward, is to be the most feared nation in the world. And I think from a support standpoint, we know the incredible culture of Spanish football at La Liga level. It's an extraordinary footballing nation, both on and off the field.
We mustn't forget they will be the next co-host for the World Cup coming up. Let's get back to New York, New Jersey Stadium and speak to Nico Cantor, who's been there live for us throughout the day. Nico, kind of break down the game for us. How did Spain go about building the victory that they wanted today?
Argentina, that's how you build a victory to win the World Cup. Listen, they dominated from the beginning to the end. What more can you say? They controlled the ball with a lot of confidence, with a lot of purpose, and the scoreline doesn't reflect how much better Spain were than Argentina. They cut it close, in fact, and Spain suffered at the very end of extra time because of their lack of clinical finishing on the front end of the match. They should have put Argentina away. They were much better than them when it was 11 against 11. They just really couldn't capitalize on how much football they were creating. And Argentina was doing nothing until the 117th minute. So it was a very deserved victory, very Spanish victory, very Luis de la Fuente victory. A performance that was categorized by every facet that this team knows how to make shine, and in a very Spanish way, they have won the World Cup.
But Nico, this was also a World Cup for Argentina that was defined by flipping the switch at the right moments, particularly towards the end of games. What do you think it was that Spain did that prevented Argentina from ever really getting into that gear until, as you said, very late in the match?
Yeah, listen, I think Argentina had to chase the ball a lot, Woody, and they were leggy already from the semifinal and from all of these epic comebacks. At one point, you need to play football. Yes, it can be epic, but it also needs to have good quality. And Argentina today didn't have the opportunity to have good quality. Spain were overwhelming Argentina in several sectors of the pitch with their fullbacks that make underlapping runs, overlapping runs. Argentina had their handful at all times, and it felt like in a lot of moments the overload was suffocating for Argentina. It was always 2v1, 2 Spanish against 1 Argentine, and if you don't allow the moment for a comeback, you'll be able to suppress it. And Spain did that. Maybe towards the end, if Giuliano Simeone hits that a little bit with his body weight over the ball instead of from under, and that's the equalizer, and Argentina ends up winning on penalty kicks, we'd be saying something different. But for a reason, Giuliano hits that one from under. He's tired. Spain forced Argentina to give absolutely everything, even when they weren't playing a lot of football, even when they were down a man. So Spain did their thing like they always knew they were going to do, and they walked out of here with a victory.
Nico, so much attention and so much was being made about this final. Lamine Yamal, Lionel Messi, that famous photograph that we see that's made its rounds on social media and around the world. How would you assess his performance today? Because we had mixed reviews at different points in the game here in studio.
Can I assess his entire World Cup? I think it is extraordinary that Spain has won the World Cup and Lamine Yamal has 2 goal involvements. He wasn't a primary factor like we expected Lamine Yamal to be, like in the semifinal of Champions League against Inter, from those prime performances that we have learned to love from Lamine Yamal, that get up off your seat type of performance that you just are expecting from him. Of course he wasn't poor, but he wasn't superlative. And yet Spain has won the World Cup, and that's a testament to Luis de la Fuente and this team that he has built, a fully functioning team. And it feels like, although they do have superstars here and there, they are some larger than their parts. To think Pedri was benched during the most important run for the Spanish team because Fabian Ruiz is a Champions League winner with PSG. He just gives you another facet, a different layer to the game that Rodri was already giving you, and perhaps you can just put a Pedri on the bench. This is an extraordinary team with so much depth to it that can give you so many different qualities, and that, to me, is unbeatable.
Nico, great stuff today, and from everyone here back in Stamford Studios, a great job for the whole World Cup. I think you've earned a few nights in your own bed after sticking that up for so long. Good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, guys. Listen, I really appreciate it. Everybody from the production team over there, everybody from the production team over here. I'm very proud of all the work that we've done. And tomorrow morning, footy bright and early. Let's do it.
The man who never stops, Nico Cantor, there live at New York, New Jersey Stadium. So the bracket complete. Spain have lifted the famous World Cup trophy for the 2nd time in their history, having last done it in 2010. Time for us to take a short break here on Scoreline 48 Nations. We've got plenty more coming up after the break. Scenes of celebration. They're doing the bumps in New York, and I think those fans are going to be there for quite some time. Got to be careful not to drop him, though. Otherwise, we could have an insurance claim. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the running man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now.
Open your eyes. Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Scoreline 48 Nations. The US is red and yellow. Spain have won the FIFA World Cup 2026. A single goal from Ferran Torres in extra time, clinching the victory over Argentina. And there's the moment they got to lift the famous trophy at New York, New Jersey Stadium. Adam Hunt, Chris Whittingham and Michael Lahoud here in the studio. And we're going to cross into New York City to speak to Marco Messina and Claudio Pagan, who've been there all day for us. Guys, how many sangrias are we in at the moment? Is it flowing?
You know what? Surprisingly, we have had zero drinks.
We're very
zero.
professional.
Far too responsible.
This is just pure energy. Pure energy right here. Listen.
We had a sip. We had a sip for the video.
They said responsible. Responsible in terms of drinking, but responsible in terms of this guy, I don't know, because he got in trouble with the cops trying to lead a party into the street.
It's unbelievable.
He got in trouble a little.
If you look right here, you can't pass. We walk through the streets with our cameras, and we've been putting stars on everyone's jersey, the second star, and they're just absolutely loving it. But it's a pure party atmosphere. Everything is safe. Everyone's having a good time. It's just pure enjoyment. Even the cops are getting in on some of the celebrations, and they're having fun. People are getting thrown in the air. This is what the World Cup is about. The fact that it's here in New York City, in our own backyard, that is the story from all of these fans. They can't believe. A lot of them, who we've spoken to, they flew from Miami. They flew from Chicago without tickets to the game. They came to celebrate all together here. That's what I love.
Yeah, listen, we got so many backgrounds here, so many people from all over in Spain, obviously Spanish people that just wanted to come here to experience it in New York. Guys, I don't know if you already saw the footage, but we were giving out these. We were putting these on people's jerseys, doing a little ooh, and putting this. Everybody was loving it. I thought Marco was close to getting thrown in the air, but maybe after you have a sangria?
Maybe after.
Maybe afterwards, after we cut the cameras, guys.
Yeah, look, only if you guys bring sangrias for post-show for all of us to enjoy. We're teammates, right? Now, Marco and Claudia, I want to ask you, especially you, Marco, you told me something about New York City that you never experienced something so magical seeing Italy win a World Cup in 2006. I know that there's a big Italian contingent in neighborhoods here in the tri-state area, but where do you rank the celebration of something like that, with a World Cup like that was so significant in your childhood, with a World Cup like this, and the celebration for some of these fans?
It's truly unbelievable just to see how many people are crying before the game and then after, of course, when they're able to lift the trophy. We've been speaking to people. There's a WhatsApp group with thousands of Spanish people all around the world, all texting to be here because they want to celebrate together. There's this sense of community that they can be here and celebrate as one. And I think the thing that makes it so special, it's how they won. It's not just that they won. They won with class. They won playing the best football. They won because it's their youth players that came in and helped win this for them. So they did it with the national sense of pride, and that's the first thing everyone has said to us, Claudia. It's we did it the right way. And I think if you're a football fan, if you watch that match, it's impossible to argue against.
Pride. Pride is the word that you use. You can not only feel the pride, see it, but you also hear it as well. When Spain won, there were tears. We were talking to someone that said, listen, you missed me, but I was in the corner. I had tears streaming down my face. I was crying at halftime. I don't know if you remember that guy. He said in Spanish to you, Marco, I'm having an anxiety attack, a panic attack. I'm going to cry. So it really truly means a lot for these Spanish
And how
fans.
about, we spoke to one person from Barcelona, and he said that he's never really fit in because when he over there in Barcelona, he's Catalonian, right? He couldn't wear the Spain jersey. He said 2010 was the first time that he was able to wear the Spain jersey, and now it's the football team. It's a football team that made him feel that national pride. So I think that's really the story here in New York City.
But Marco, Claudia, how did the fans live the game, though? Because it was one where, yes, they were dominant the whole time, but until they finally get the goal in the first minute of extra time, you're not really sure how it's going to go for you. So the scenes when the goal was disallowed, when Spain scored and then the referee disallowed it for a foul in the build-up on Otamendi, tell us about how the fans lived the game.
Yeah, well, guys, so we started off here at the bar with Spanish fans, and then we actually did move over to a different bar that had Argentina fans. So we actually experienced the second half of this game with Argentina
This is also
fans.
New York right here.
Look at
Spain
this. Spain and Argentina.
Vamos España, 2 estrellas.
Dos estrellas.
I'm happy. I'm just happy for them. Yeah, I'm happy for him.
It was a beautiful, beautiful World Cup.
You're not going to make him sleep on the couch tonight.
No, we're fine. We're good. We're good.
Friends, thank you.
Yeah, we're friends.
Enjoy.
There, you guys see it. Still united, still happy. He's not sleeping on the couch tonight, so hey.
That's what New York is about. Everyone's got to celebrate together.
Exactly.
Guys, great stuff. Claudia, the producer's just telling me that apparently you need to take Marco to see that cop that's in the middle of the street to get him to apologize for his behavior earlier. Otherwise, we're going to get in trouble.
I didn't do anything. Don't worry, I got a video coming for you. I'm going to try to put 2 stars.
Believe me.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
I'm going to try to put 2 stars on one of the cops' uniform. That video's going to come. Don't worry.
Marco Messina, a troublemaker till the end. Thanks very much, guys. Enjoy the evening there in New York. What a performance from Spain, and continues what has been some brilliant performances from them in international performances in the World Cup. This is their second title. They won it back in 2010 as well. Back-to-back major tournaments, having won the Euros 3 straight from 2008 to 2012. And it is now a 38-match competitive unbeaten streak, which is the longest all-time for Luis de la Fuente. Let's get back to Phil Kitramilides, who we saw earlier in the streets of Madrid. He's retreated to the safety of his home studio. Phil, we were saying earlier, hopefully you stay clear of the sangria just for another half an hour or so before you spoke to us. Let's talk about the way that Spain were able to engineer this victory. It looked like, certainly to us as we were watching the game, obviously they had to be very patient, waiting till extra time to get the goal, but this was a team knew that if they stayed with their tactics, eventually they were going to come good.
Guys, I think this final was kind of just sort of a mirror image of Spain throughout the whole tournament, staying calm, believing in themselves, trusting the process, and getting the job done in the end. You know, the first game against Cape Verde, when they didn't play particularly well and they only drew 0-0, and there was all sorts of recrimination in the Spanish media. You can only imagine what people were saying here. But the players, the messaging that we were getting from the players and the staff and everybody around Spain was stay calm. We're not worried. And then Luis de la Fuente, you know, this is a triumph of Luis de la Fuente, of the manager, because every line of the team, he has taken big decisions, massive calls that have paid off. Starting in goal, you know, Unai Simon, he started Unai Simon when a lot of people were saying David Raya or Joan Garcia should start. No, Unai Simon. In the back, Pedro Porro didn't start the first game, but he brings him in. He's sensational. The centre-back pairing, we didn't know who they were going to be. He drops Robin Lenormand from the squad, brings in Pau Cubarsí, plays alongside Laporte, and they're brilliant. After those first few games, people were saying, Rodri's too slow, maybe bring in Subimendi. Absolutely not. Stick with the team, stick with my guy, my captain. And all throughout the team, you know, he's made Oyarzabal into a number 9. He's believed in Ferran Torres as a number 9 as well. He brought Nico Williams here, even after a disappointing season. Nico Williams was trusted to be able to bring something to the side, and he did with that incredible assist. So throughout the side, we have seen that Luis de la Fuente has been able to make big calls and get them absolutely spot on. And he's been so calm as well throughout this competition, and he has transmitted that calmness and that belief in his players and imbued this squad with a calmness and a belief in the process. So, yep, tonight they kept going, they kept their heads when it would have been quite easy to lose it, given what was going on with the physical nature that Argentina were proposing in the final. Kept their heads, kept going, and triumphed in the right way.
Phil, Spain won 3 consecutive major tournaments from 2008 to 2012. They've now won back-to-back major tournaments yet again. And I'm curious about what Spain do systemically in order to create such a strong sense of identity with the coach, with the players, from youth, men's, women's. Spanish football, for me, is the one clear kind of football of any country in the world. We know exactly what we're getting when that badge steps on the field, regardless of level. I guess my question, both in terms of learning, wanting the United States to do something like this, is how? How do they do this?
It's a big cultural shift, I would suggest, to how things are done in the US to how things are done in Spain. I mean, Mikel Merino is speaking pre the final. I can't remember to which media it was, but he was saying, we know how to play. We've been playing like this since we were 8 or 9. Like, in terms of staying calm and keeping focused and playing our way in a final, like, we know how to do this because we've been doing this since we were so young. It's just a matter of being able to implement that in big games. So Luis de la Fuente is obviously a federation man who has worked with the young teams and had great success throughout the Spanish international youth system. He's worked with these players from very young ages, brought them through, and had this kind of idea with them. So I don't know how the US mirrors Spain. It is, I think, a bit more deep-seated in the sporting philosophy and culture. But in terms of Spain, what they've done, it is a clear identity. It's deep-rooted. It starts very young and it continues right through their footballing development. And we're seeing it pay dividends at the highest level.
Phil, congratulations to you, because I know you're an honorary Spaniard and you and I go back and forth. You are Spanish to me, my friend, so enjoy the second star. I want to stick on Luis de la Fuente because this is his 50th match in charge for La Roja, and he gets a second World Cup for the national team. I was struck by something he said going into the World Cup, where I've never heard a manager talk about the collective. And he said, only with a collective can you truly win major tournaments. What was your impression of the collective today? Because you alluded to some of those big changes he made at this World Cup, but what did you see, some of the big changes and some of maybe the subs, and how they impacted the game today?
So Luis de la Fuente was very clear. He said, I have picked this squad to win the World Cup because I think they're the best players, but because he also thought it was the best group. And he said it's very difficult to be away from home for 6 weeks with a group of work colleagues, essentially. You have to get the group right. So obviously he was picking players because he thought these are the best players, but he was also picking personalities. He was picking characters. He was picking a group dynamic and making sure that these people can gel both on and off the pitch, because I need them to be a collective. I need them to be a family. And the word family has been used consistently by the manager, by the players, by the coaching staff. And we've spoken about this before, the kind of focus that they put on that. But Luis de la Fuente was focusing on creating those harmonious, unified vibes when he was picking the squad, which I think was very, very interesting. You know, you don't hear managers necessarily saying that. I've picked a squad because I think this is the best squad to collectively get on and be harmonious for 6 weeks. But that was obviously in the forefront of his mind. And again, it's paid off, because not only has this team been brilliant, not only has this squad been brilliant, they've all, to a man, spoken about the fantastic atmosphere that they've enjoyed over these last 6-7 weeks that they've been together. So again, credit to Luis de la Fuente for what he's done, because not only has he got the big calls on the pitch right as well, the big calls off the pitch he's got absolutely spot on as well. Because just think about some of the players that he's left out. Now, I'm not calling into question, for example, the character of Dani Carvajal, for example. He is a big name, a big player, a huge legendary figure in Spanish football, but he didn't come. He wasn't brought. Now, it might have been due to fitness, or it might have been the fact that Luis de la Fuente was thinking, maybe if I bring someone with such a pedigree, it might affect the dynamic in the group. I am just speculating here, but these are the kind of decisions that Luis de la Fuente has had to take, and he's got them absolutely spot on.
Phil, I want to talk about the player who wins the golden ball, that being Rodri, and it is quite remarkable to have done so with 0 goals and 0 assists at this tournament. Usually this goes to players that do things that show up on the box score, as he did when he won the Ballon d'Or ahead of Vinicius Jr., which was controversial in its own right. What is it about the way that he plays and dominates that actually draws recognition when normally players who play that position do not?
You're absolutely right. It's not usually a position that gets that much credit, but he's just so good at it. He is just so good at it. He is just so dominant in an almost understated way, the way that he does absolutely everything brilliantly. And he started slowly in this competition. I'm on record as questioning him. I thought he was slow. I thought he was ponderous. He wasn't great in the first few games, but the knockout stages came, and he was absolutely sensational, vital to Spain's improvement, consistent improvement throughout the rounds. And I thought again tonight he was an epic performance from Rodri, just controlling things, making sure that there was no way that Argentina were going to have any kind of sniff at getting into this match. Spain absolutely smothered them, and Rodri is fundamental to that. So a brilliant performance from him, and when Rodri plays well, Spain play well. There's no coincidence in that. So he's deservedly the golden ball of this tournament, I think, and he deserves all the credit that he's getting.
Phil, in football, it's always dangerous to compare teams from previous generations, but obviously the last time Spain won it, as we said, was in 2010. We're 16 years later in 2026. How do you think this team and squad compares to the team and squad that won it in 2010?
I think this team is perhaps slightly different. Obviously, they do like to have the ball quite a lot, but I think they are a bit more dynamic. Like they create a lot of chances. They don't necessarily have someone like David Villa to finish them off, but they create a lot of chances through slightly dynamic play in the final third. I think they move the ball quicker in the final third. They're more incisive. They do have these two brilliant wingers that bring a different dimension. I actually think they're quite sort of physical as well. Like they can go toe-to-toe with a team like Argentina. They aren't these sort of twinkly-toed, small elfin-like footballers who float around the pitch playing these intricate little passes. No, they're quite big and strong and physical characters as well. So I think that's a slight difference as well. It's not just this intricate little tiki-taka that they play, little flicks and tricks. They can be physical as well. They're good at set pieces too. So there are some nuances, but obviously, it's Spain. It's a successful Spanish team. So broadly speaking, they're based on the same principles, obviously.
No, well said, Phil. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself.
OK, Phil, obviously Spain played a blinder at the World Cup, and so have you. So thanks for all of your contributions over the last 6 weeks or so.
Pleasure, guys. Vamos España.
Vamos! Time for a short break here on Scoreline 48 Nations. The celebrations continue here in Hudson Yards. The Spanish fans will be singing and dancing long into the night in New York.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now.
Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Scoreline 48 Nations. So Argentina's World Cup campaign ends at the final hurdle. Lionel Messi's side falling short of going back-to-back. In the end, their fighting spirit couldn't carry them over the line. Comeback victories against Egypt and England in the knockout stages will live long in the memory. But ultimately, they couldn't beat Spain, who won 1-0 in the final. Whitty, I'll come to you first. How would you summarise Argentina's World Cup this year?
Well, I think their World Cup was, I guess, very inconsistent. It was surviving the moments. They were a moments team. And they went behind in so many games in the knockout round. They didn't play well against Cabo Verde. They didn't play well against Egypt. They needed until the last bits of the game against England to really get going. And when you're a moments team and you come up against a team that are a complete 90 minutes team, you get your head handed to you. And I think what we saw from them was probably some of the most entertaining stuff that we saw at the tournament. I think if you rank the games that they played, 3 of the top 5 or 6 games that we saw this tournament were Argentina games. That's because they were chaos. It's because they waited until the very end. It was dramatic. It was messy. It was all the things that make them special. But in the end, you have to be a much better team than that in order to actually go win the thing. I thought they were going to get away with it. They ended up in the half of the bracket, which I thought had, probably the weaker semifinalists in terms of England and Argentina. They had a pretty easy run getting there in the first place. So I think they're a team that delivered a lot in terms of moments and entertainment, but in the end, we're not the best team. And if they had won today, it probably would have been an unfair result on the tournament.
There's that saying, isn't there? We won the battle, but we haven't won the war. And it felt like Argentina were winning lots of little battles, but they were never really going to win the war with the way that they were approaching these games.
Yeah, it's a bit of history repeating itself with Argentina. So that's now, their 3rd loss in the last 4 World Cup finals they've been in, which is insane when you think of the success rate that they've gotten to get to the big game at a World Cup. But this is what I love about the World Cup, that sometimes club football doesn't give you. Maybe the Champions League at times does, but the World Cup is undefeated with this, that the World Cup has a way of exposing you and holding you accountable for some of the things that you get away with up until the final. The World Cup final is undefeated in that, where some of the issues that you get away with by just relying on the extra man, the fans, the passion, the glory, you need some intelligence in the final. And today, I saw an Argentine team that played with 0 intelligence, that played with just 0 desire to play football, which is shocking when you think of the praise we've been giving them. Playing on passion alone is not enough to win a World Cup. I'm convinced of that. 4 years ago in Qatar, we saw more than passion. We saw quality. Enzo Fernandez brought quality moments. He brought quality moments at this World Cup, but he brought quality performances. That's why he started for Lionel Scaloni, and Leandro Paredes was on the bench. Rodrigo de Paul brought quality moments and performances at the last World Cup. This World Cup, he was shocking. And so overall, yes, getting to a World Cup is a celebration of Argentine passion, Argentine glory. At the end of the day, though, you lost a World Cup final and you were completely outclassed by a Spanish side that are better.
Witty, Argentina have always been a footballing nation that have kind of danced on that line with the dark arts and using some of the tactics that we maybe don't like to see in the game, but you have to say that it worked. There were some scenes after the final whistle. Paredes was getting involved in a bit of a brawl with some of the Spanish substitutes and players, eventually picking up a red card. We obviously saw what happened to Enzo Fernandez as well, getting a red card during the game. And we've seen this in previous games as well. They were doing the same sort of thing in the first half against England. Do you think they were on the wrong side of that red line today?
For sure. I think you go back into previous games, you said that, oh, maybe these are things that we don't like to see. I'll be honest. I kind of like to see it when it's in between the lines, when it's during the game, when it's after the whistle. When the World Cup final is over and Spain are there to celebrate their triumph and they go sprinting onto the field to enjoy their incredible achievement, an achievement that every single one of those players to a man has worked their life for, and you decide we're going to take some cheap shots, we're going to throw some hands in faces, we're going to put our hands around throats. It's awful. It's absolutely horrible for a team to sort of make it about yourself and your inability to process your own defeat. From Leandro Paredes, he should have been sent off probably 5 times today. He was horrendous today from that standpoint. I don't mind it when it's between the lines. I don't mind it when you're on that cutting edge. You're trying.
I think the first half against England, or even as an England fan, I would agree that, okay, it wasn't great to watch, but I would say that was on the right side of the line, I think.
Yes, it was. I agree. And I kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I appreciate it. As an opposition fan, you hate it. But Argentina, this is what they do. They try and get under skin. They try and get in heads. But I think today, it revealed the fact that they had nothing else. They had nothing for Spain. Well, you don't have a shot until the 117th minute of the game. A shot, a single one. Punch it into row Z for all I care. Give us something. They gave us nothing in this game. And so when all you have is that, it looks really embarrassing. And the fact that they decided to upstage Spain's moment for even a few minutes, they have their moments and they're having a good time. But when you go darting onto the field, you're thinking, oh my God, we just won the World Cup. Let's go sprinting onto the field. I'm going to go join my teammates, and people are shoving you and putting your hands in faces, and managers getting involved. Horrendous. It is the sorest loser behavior that you can possibly imagine.
Now, I think we really see why a lot of nations, a lot of fans hate Argentine football and hate the Argentine national team. Because exactly what you say, in my opinion, they just revealed why they are one of the biggest, sorest losers in the history of the World Cup. And on a day and on a week, really, where we saw the best of Argentine football on the national team against England, that never say die spirit, that class, that quality, that winning DNA that we celebrated right here on Scoreline at this network, in this studio, a couple days later, on the biggest stage, with the biggest match in a lot of these players' just careers, trying to be the first team since Brazil to win back-to-back World Cups. We're left here with a just sour taste in our mouths and just a disgust at what we saw. There's a cowardice that comes with doing what Leandro Paredes did, because I didn't see that big boy mentality. And yes, he had cheap shots, but there's a cowardice that comes when you try and upstage an opponent and try and make that moment about yourself. And for every bully out there, there's a coward on the other side. So for Leandro Paredes, that is a disgust that I will never stand for. You do your talking on the pitch within the 120 minutes, not when the final whistle is blown. And so this is a reminder of why there will be a celebration in Spain today. But I guarantee you, in Brazil, in Chile, especially Chile, in Colombia, in different parts of the United States, this is bigger than just Spain winning the World Cup. We were reminded about the dark arts and the dark side of Argentine football today in this final.
And I think some of the fingers of blame will be pointed at Lionel Scaloni. Ultimately, he's setting this team up to go out there and try to win this game, and they've chosen to use some of those tactics to win the game. Let's have a look at what he said. He was talking about his future in the post-match press conference. Obviously, some question marks now about what the future holds for this man, having won the World Cup in Qatar and now lost in the final. This place is incredible. I never thought I'd be in this wonderful place. I deserve deserve to take the time to decide what I'm going to do. It's hardly ever that a group as wonderful as this one comes together again, and it hurts my soul. I have an idea of what I want to do. I have to talk to the president. It's hard to put together something as big as this. And he's talking there about how difficult it is to go back-to-back. We've seen that so few times in history in the World Cup. I feel sadness now, but above all, I have an eternal gratitude to these boys, because getting this far takes a tremendous amount. We're great in victory, and we have to be great in defeat. And we remember what we've done. We gave everything. Maybe question the great in defeat there. He's being rather selective with his wording. But do you think he is the man to lead them into the next World Cup, or is this time for him to step aside?
I do think in general, I don't mean about him specifically, I do think in general, when you get into 3 World Cup cycles, it's a long time. It's a long time to be in one position, and I appreciate that he has earned that desire to keep going if he wants to keep going. But I think it gets stale after a while. I think Argentina probably need a new voice, and I think in the overall, this is the end of an era. Because you'd be shocked if Lionel Messi is around for the next World Cup. I'd even be shocked if he's around for the next Copa America. I think today we saw his tears after the game and in receiving his runners-up medal. I would be shocked if he played for Argentina again, unless it's maybe some kind of testimonial scenario, but I don't see him continuing. And so this next era, and Argentina have some major questions to ask, because in my view, you even go to the fact that the U.S. government is investigating the Argentine Federation for mishandling funds off the field. There are a lot of issues that, in my view, Lionel Messi is covered for. Lionel Messi is the one way that they have a positive reputation. I think a lot of people like Messi. They want to see him do well. I think a lot of people wanted to see him win the last World Cup. I agree with you completely that they might not have wanted to see him win this World Cup. By the way, Messi was not very good today. We should absolutely say that. But I think Messi covers for a lot of things. And Argentinian football needs to figure out what life after Messi looks like. Because who's going to actually wear that number 10 shirt and take on that mantle? Is it Nico Paz? Is that too much to put on one man's shoulders? And do they have a generation of players ready to come through and actually fill the gaps that are left behind by some of these giants that have won a World Cup and came ever so close to winning a second? So I think there are big questions that have to be asked, and I think it probably is time for an overall turnover of everything. Managers, star players, and maybe even president, to see if maybe a new era of Argentine football can give us something different.
Lahoud, is this actually the end for Messi? Because, it feels like we haven't got the period at the end of the sentence yet, have we?
No, look, I don't have a crystal ball. If I did, I'd be making a lot of money still at the Golazo Network, but definitely through some other means, because I'd be rich with my predictions. But I really do feel that this is the end for Lionel Messi. He has been unbeaten against Father Time. At 39 years old, to have his best World Cup at 39, you can say, is it the fact that he plays in Major League Soccer and the impact, the stress on his body isn't as much as what he would have to go through with the gruel of number of games he'd have to play in Europe? Maybe, but he still has the quality, and he proved that at the FIFA Club World Cup. But at the next World Cup, my math is mathing, he'd be 43?
Yeah.
Man, that is a big difference. I'm about to be 40 years old very soon. I can tell you there's things in my calf that hurts. There's things in my back that hurts. I'm not a professional footballer anymore. There's times I feel like I am in my own mind, especially watching Argentina stink the place up today, Adam. But at 43 years old, I find it highly unlikely for Lionel Messi to be at the next World Cup. Maybe Copa America, but it's all going to depend on one thing: his appetite, drive, and love for the game. I think that's what keeps him going. I think that's what we saw today, and also his competitive spirit. It is one of the biggest burning desires I've ever seen on a football pitch.
You heard it here first. Michael Lahoud retires from international football. his leg hurts. You just can't do it again. We could probably do half an hour on this, but what legacy will Messi leave if this finally is his last game?
I think it's of a journey that took so many different directions. A lot of people were equating this tournament and sort of what this cycle with what happened 10 years ago when they lost the Copa America final. He misses a penalty in the shootout, and he kind of gave this press conference after the game where he said, I don't think this is ever going to happen for me. I think I may have to retire because there's something about playing for the Argentine national team that I'm just never going to have any success. The fact that he turned it around, won back-to-back Copas America, won a World Cup, and came ever so close to winning a second, I think he'll leave behind a legacy that, for as much pressure as was on him from the ghost of Maradona to just playing for the Argentine national team, that he was able to rise above it and to win the trophy that Argentina covets and re-establish Argentina's place at the very highest level of world football in the latter part of his 30s. And obviously the totality of his career will speak for itself, but I think the fact that he was able to turn it around from as bad as they were as a national team with Messi at the center of it to then going on and finally winning the things that he sought to win, I think is a fairly incredible story.
Well said. Well, earlier at Hudson Yards in New York, we saw Spain fans being thrown up in the air. And I'm being told that love is in the air as well down there, because we've had a proposal. Look at this guy asking his fiancée to marry him. And she said yes. She said yes.
Yeah, she must have done with the way that they're celebrating.
I was waiting for it to be the other guy whose girlfriend is Argentine to see if she said
talk about Marco hijacking the celebration.
Can you imagine? They're like at their wedding, they have photos of it, and there's Marco Messina, a man they've never met, right in the middle of it. Yeah. He's having a grand old time.
Next year at the wedding, do you take, and is Marco just there with his seat?
I think Marco's a groomsman on the evidence of what we just saw.
Celebrants these days, I mean, you can make a good living out of it. Time for a short break here on Scoreline 48 Nations. We've got plenty more World Cup final coverage coming up next.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, with the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Scoreline 48 Nations. FIFA do love an award, don't they? And these are the notable awards we've had at the 2026 World Cup. Unai Simon, the Spain goalkeeper, winning the Golden Glove. The best young player going to Pau Kubasi. of Spain. The defender for Barcelona had a wonderful World Cup. Rodri as well. Didn't really start the World Cup particularly well, as Phil said, in some of those group games. It really grew into the tournament. It was so crucial to their victory by the end, winning the Golden Ball and then the Golden Boot. Kylian Mbappe leading the way in terms of scoring for France. So let's just talk about our overall feelings of what we've seen of the tournament. What is your most memorable moment or something that you remember from this 2026 World Cup, Michael?
That's a great question, Adam. And as someone who comes from an underdog country, I'm going to stick with the underdog theme. It's been the rise of the underdogs, and it's not just an African thing. It's a global thing. You look at what this World Cup has meant, that when you give opportunities to now 48 teams, you give an opportunity for the world to fall in love with football from around the world. I look at what's happening in CONMEBOL. Paraguay, shocking Germany. And you could say Germany was shocking at this World Cup. I definitely believe that. But when you think of new heroes like Orlando Hill, who's outstanding for Paraguay at this World Cup, also some of his group stage performances, you have new iconic heroes, Cabo Verde, Vozinha, friend of the network as well now, friend of every network it seems.
Friend of everybody.
I know, and so this for me was a World Cup where if you can dream, there's no dream that's too big if you're a small nation or if you're a nation looking to grow the beautiful game in your backyard. It starts with grassroots that you pointed out, Woody. And so I'm going to celebrate that from now and maybe into the expanded format.
The only tiny part of that didn't really hold to the end was the fact that the semifinals were the top 4 teams. I was kind of hoping that one underdog would get all the way, would make a Cinderella run and impress everyone. But ultimately, we got what we were expecting at the start of the tournament. But yeah, in the beginning parts of the tournament, the middle part of the tournament, what Egypt did against Argentina, what Cabo Verde did against Argentina, what so many of these teams did was absolutely beautiful to watch. What's, for me, is what makes a tournament like this special.
Absolutely. And when you think about that sort of message, seeing that photo of Lamine Yamal as a baby with Lionel Messi, that almost speaks to that. There will be some kid somewhere who is inspired by what they've seen over the last 6 weeks who will be playing in a future World Cup.
And that ultimately, you talk about the expanded 48-team World Cup, the biggest thing that I think people missed when they criticized it was that the expansion of the World Cup is aspirational, meaning if you're a nation that normally doesn't qualify for tournaments and all of a sudden the path is there, you will rise to the level. That teams will rise to the occasion in order to be there. I still think that it's a bit too early for 64. I think we can get there eventually, maybe by 38 or 42. Who knows? Maybe we'll have it for the next one, and maybe teams won't be ready for it. But if you announce, let's say, in 2038, we're going to have a 64-team World Cup, the teams in that middle class are also, okay, let's go for it because we have something to aspire to. So many teams didn't have that chance to really go for something, to go and qualify for a World Cup. But now they do because that opportunity is there. Some European teams would have never had a chance. Never had a chance in the previous format. Think of Scotland, and now they can. And now they can think we can regularly qualify for tournaments. And ultimately, people say, oh, the World Cup is the whole thing. It's the whole qualifying process. Let's be real. The qualifying process pales in comparison to what the actual tournament is. So I think it is beautiful that so many countries now have something to aspire to.
San Marino 2030. I'm on the Witty, what's your pick for your most memorable theme of this World Cup?
Yeah, obviously, I think we spent 8 years trying to think of what the World Cup was going to look like when it came to the United States, because it was finally given out to the U.S. 8 years ago. And I was really wondering, obviously all the stories in the build up to it about the political climate, about immigration issues, about all these different things. And yet what you really found was this is a triumph of the American people and, of course, the Mexican people and the Canadian people as well. It was a triumph of the world being welcomed by the American people. And we saw this with beautiful stories like what happened with the Algeria team in Lawrence, Kansas, where a tiny college town comes to rally around a country that most of them couldn't pick out on a map. And yet, well, they're with us, we're with them. And that happened in so many parts of the country with so many teams. And I'm not certain that was always going to happen. So the U.S. welcomed the world, but then it also embraced the world's game. And I think that's the legacy of this tournament. And we all, as soccer fans, hope that, it'll be the #1 sport in the country tomorrow. That's not going to happen. These things happen incrementally over time. And the 2010 World Cup, when Landon Donovan scored that goal, was a moment. It was a step. The 2002 World Cup, when they got to the quarterfinal, was a step. All these World Cups are steps. And the number of people in my life that are embracing football a little bit more, day by day by day, is what this World Cup was meant to be. And maybe there are some people who decide, you know what, I watched the World Cup, now I'm done with it, I'm off to NFL preseason. Fair enough, have a nice time. But I think there are more people that will decide, I'll watch my local MLS team. I'll watch my local USL team. I'll watch the Premier League team. I'll watch the Champions League. And the more people that do that, the more this thing grows. So I really hope that the legacy of this tournament is another big, big step towards the growth of football in this country, because I really do think that as hosts, we couldn't have done it better.
And I think with the success, with all of the things you've mentioned there, and also the commercial success of this World Cup, I think they'll be back in North America before before long. I've gone for, rather than a theme as you've selected, I've actually gone for an individual. I've picked Didier Deschamps because of what he's done for French football. Obviously, he's stepping away from his position as head coach of the France national side. Ultimately, ended in disappointment. They weren't able to make it all the way through to the final. But given what he's done for this French national team, obviously he took charge in 2012. It's been 14 years he's been at the helm of this national team, and he took charge of a team that was a complete mess. Remember the 2010 World Cup? You've probably seen the documentary. The boys on the bus, they were refusing to train. This was a team that was in a complete shambles, took over. And I know a lot of people have pointed to the fact that this is a golden generation of French players. He's had so many brilliant players to deal with, but you've still got to do it when it comes to the tournament. Win one World Cup, they got to another final, and I think a lot of people feel that they could have easily won this one given the quality of the players in there, and obviously the personal tragedy that he went through at this tournament, losing his mother in the group stages, flying back to France for the funeral, and then coming back. And I know a lot of the players in the squad spoke about what that meant to them, and that really brought the group together. So I think 14 years to be in charge of a national team, I mean, other than Luis de la Fuente, who's obviously been in charge for a long time, is not something we see particularly often at all. You almost never see it in club game these days. But for him to have done that, and I do think he leaves one of the most successful generations of French football. I think he's done a tremendous job.
Yeah, I really look at him as a reference point for success in French football, and the numbers truly don't lie. France has been in 8 at least World Cup semifinals. He's accounted for half of them as a player or coach. So where he goes, success follows when it comes to French football. And look, I know that, and Woody, I know you feel a bit differently about whether he may be underachieved, but I look at Didier Deschamps, the person. There's a humility about him. I've always respected that humility. You can go back and look at some of the videos we now have access to of the France team in the World Cup final in '98. Aimé Jacquet was the coach, but Didier Deschamps was the coach on the field. And you really saw this leader and just a natural-born winner in ways that sometimes we don't see in football. And maybe Rodri can be that next version of talking about just a winner, a pure winner that is that reference point and a coach on the pitch for the Spanish national team in modern-day football. But I'm a big fan of him. I was as a player. I will be. And I think I fall in love with Didier Deschamps, the human being, because his humility, walking out in the sunset, he will forever be a French football fan, first and foremost.
And I think that's the point, Whitty. Could he have done better? I think most people would agree, yes, given the tools that he had at his disposal. But I think you also have to respect what he did achieve, both on the pitch and, as Michael says, there as a person off it.
Yeah, I realize that I'm sort of part of the problem here, just because I said yesterday that he probably underachieved, and I do believe that. I do think that he underachieved, but I think in our modern media environment where anytime anyone does anything bad or loses, I'm seeing it now with Messi. He had a bad World Cup final, and so, he's right back to, being 7th in the all-time player list or whatever. I think we do a bad job because of our media environment of creating legends and praising. That ultimately when people do fall at the second to final hurdle or the final hurdle, that means that everything that they did up until then is not worth remembering. And that we speak so much more with much more reverence of players and managers in the past, and that we don't really have enough reverence for people in the present who are doing amazing things. And I do think that to take over a team that was struggling, as France were in 2010, in 2012, Deschamps, and lead them to tournament semifinal after tournament final, winning major tournaments as well, and achieving what he did, he has to be remembered as a legend of the game, because if he isn't, then who is? It is one of those things where if you can't praise the people that have actually achieved the things that everyone seeks to achieve, because they slipped at one time, or you can criticize one decision, or you can criticize this thing about them, and that becomes the caricature of them. Well, then who is going to be revered from this era? He has to be someone that we revere.
Well, so many of the players that we've enjoyed and watched throughout the World Cup will be back in action in less than 2 weeks' time, because the European club competitions begin in earnest in August the 12th. We've got the UEFA Super Cup. The EFL Championship season begins across our network on the 14th of August, so that following weekend. Serie A begins the weekend after that on the 22nd. We've got the Barclays WSL across our network new this season as well. That is in the 4th of September. Then the league phase of the Champions League at the 8th of September as well, and the 22nd on the women's side in the Champions League. Well, thanks so much for watching all of our coverage throughout the World Cup.
It's
here
over?
At Golazo Network. What are we going to talk about for the next 2 weeks tomorrow?
What do we do?
We'll figure it out. Congratulations to Spain, your 2026 FIFA World Cup champions. We'll see you soon.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?